I've pretty much always had a project that I'm working on. As soon as I graduated high school, I went to art school at the Colorado Institute of Art and got my associates in graphic design and advertising design. Then I realized at a certain point, I really did not want to be what I would call 5%ed to death. Could you make this more blue, more, whatever it was. So I immediately went to UNC for my BA and pursued more printmaking and sculpting at that point. All the way through college, I worked my way through working in frame shops and art services shops. Led me into aerial photography, believe it or not. So I spent 13 years doing that, and whether it's high altitude mapping photography or low level hanging out of a helicopter, doors off. And I think eventually led to really kind of how I work now as far as the substrates that I use is a lot of mounting type material that I used when I was in that industry. I lost both my parents to cancer when my first year in college. This was about a year apart. And one of the last things my father told me was finish your degree, complete your degree. And that literally was probably one of the last things that he told me. He lived here in Texas, I was back in Colorado at this point. And just a driving force, when you really know that you're kind of on your own, and that was pretty much the case, there's really no place to fall. So all you can do is constantly grow and develop and pursue and trying to be better. And again, like I said, I really enjoy process, and throughout that process, the learning that takes place and the personal growth. If I look at a lot of my work, if not all of my work, there's very linear, a very structured framework, and then typically more organic, chaotic components within, which I think kind of mirrors my personality, I guess, trying to be very, linear and focused. But there's always those, I don't necessarily want to say chaotic, but very passionate components of my personality that I think are just always waiting to break through, and art gives me that avenue. Around 2010, I think I started doing a lot of work in bamboo. Actually, I hand dug, hand planted, grew my own bamboo, and it took, again, 10 years to get to that point to actually harvest the bamboo. And then in those components, that was one of my first exposures with the city. I was with some of the bamboo sculptures. From there, going, how can I further utilize the materials that I have, and splitting and transferring it, to cut paper and interlocking form, and just trying to see how things are really interrelated. I'm a Kempo guy, so I believe in a really strong foundation and then building your advanced techniques on top of a foundation. So I'm the head instructor for North Richland Hills Dojo. Again, we focus primarily on self-defense, but it's really about lifelong learning. Again, always a pursuit, and combining the linear and the circular and the organic and the structured. So Kempo really is an art in itself, and you can look at a fundamental concept, and throughout all the different styles of martial arts, they will have their own flavor or their own spin, but the concept still holds true. So Kempo is just, one branch kind of that tree. And again, that journey is going to be a lifelong journey, and combining that with art and just the people I get to hang out with, I'm truly blessed. But I think with art, it's just amazing how everything is interconnected, and I think I'm at the point now in the evolution of my art where I'm really starting to see that and understand between circular and linear, organic and structured, and how they can be interrelated and work together. I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. So it's, again, a lifelong pursuit, and I know I have a long way to go, but I'm looking forward to the journey for sure.